Alex Kidman, and today I'm taking a look at well, it sort of looks like it could have fallen off Doctor Who's TARDIS, actually. And in some ways, maybe it did, because technically the Morphe relaxation and sleep aid device is a time machine. You fall asleep, you go forwards through time. See what I did there? That being said, it's an unusual looking device that is designed as part white noise generator, part guided meditation device. And aside from the unusual design, the big selling point here is meant to be that it doesn't have a screen. The key idea there is that if you look at your phone or look at a tablet or any other screen before going to bed, you get more blue light, it's harder to get to sleep. This is a set and forget kind of solution that doesn't involve that. And that might have some benefit for some people. At the same time, sleep gadgets are really, really tough to actually properly judge, because the reasons why you may or may not sleep can be incredibly complex. Maybe I had too much cheese before going to bed. Maybe I've had a super stressful day. Maybe there's a storm outside. Or there's any of a myriad of other reasons or health concerns that mean that I'm not sleeping properly. So what applies to me might not apply to you, and things that work for one person might not work for another. Also, of course, it can be very hard to judge what proper sleep is and whether or not you're properly rested, because there's all sorts of physiological factors there too. That being said, that disclaimer out of the way, I've been testing out the Morphe for a couple of weeks now, using it to help me get to sleep, and also using some of its shorter guided meditations just to help me relax during the day. So let's have a quick look at the physical design. So when you take it out of the box, it actually sort of looks like a mushroom. But that's because it's got this nice little wooden holding box which holds the main body of it. I do like the design just in a kind of sculptural sense, although I do wish that these dials were actually metal. They're just plastic. They feel just a little bit cheap, which is not great on a device that costs as much as this does. So what you get on the Morphe is this set of dials. Now on the left, you get a set of selection dials for the type of meditation or noise that you want. You do get a manual. You sort of do need to familiarize yourself with what each one does, because there's a lot of combinations in play here. And that's where the right-hand dial comes in, because once you've selected whatever it is you want, you then get a choice of 8 different selections, which relate to 8 different takes on the same program. Then down below, there's a simple switch which just flicks you between either an 8 or a 20-minute program. The other choice you've got is between male and female voices. And again, that's totally something that could just appeal to some people and not appeal to others. For my own tastes, what I've really found is the female voice is really good, and I find I can relax really well with it. It sounds to me like the male voice is trying to kill me, and it freaks me out every time I try and use it, which is a problem. And the reason it's a problem is because this doesn't just give you a guided meditation in a female voice and then have a male voice read the same script on the same dial setting. They're actually different guided meditations. I feel like I'm missing out on half the meditations that could be on this device. Outside of those controls, you also get standard volume buttons, you get a play pause button and a power button, and then at the back you get micro USB for charging and a 3.5mm headphone jack. So while this has its own onboard speaker, you can also plug headphones into it, which is sort of neat, but it does remind me every single time I look at it that I wish this had Bluetooth. Because if I'm relaxing, and especially if I'm relaxing to go to sleep, I don't want a full set or even a wired set of headphones on. I can fall asleep, and I have done this in the past on planes and such, with Bluetooth headphones on, though. That's a lot more comfortable. I wish this had Bluetooth, but it just doesn't. So, is it any good? Well, look, the 8-minute meditations during the day, I've used some of those just to kind of help me chill out a bit, and they've been pretty good, actually. I quite like those. Those work quite well. The 20-minute ones, that's a little trickier. What I found is that sometimes I can fall asleep within 20 minutes, within the 20 minutes of the meditation or the 20 minutes of white noise, but sometimes I'll go the whole thing. And then, do I start again? Do I pick a different one? If I'm fiddling with this, because each of these little dials makes a very resolute click every time you move it, I'm probably waking myself back up again. So I sort of wish some of them went longer, especially the white noise. I've got to say, this is not an incapable white noise generator, but it feels like a waste to me as a white noise generator, because let's face it, you can get much longer white noise loops. You can get them through smart speakers. There's endless YouTube videos that'll run you through that kind of stuff. I can't recommend buying this if you just need that white noise reassurance, sound of raindrops or crashing waves or whatever helps you get your sleep in at night. This will do it, but 20 minutes just doesn't feel like it's long enough to me. Obviously, your own sleep patterns may differ. The other big challenge with this is the price. It's a nice little sculptural piece, but it's a nice little sculptural piece that in Australia costs $149. That's quite a lot for a gadget. And yes, you could spend that much on meditation sessions or meditation apps. You could certainly spend that much seeing a therapist about this kind of stuff. So it's not wholly inappropriately priced, but it's not inexpensive for what it is. And there's a bit of a try before you buy problem here, of course, as well, because if, like me, for example, you find the bloke's voice is a bit creepy, then you're limiting what you can get. As I said, the white noise is nice to have, but I didn't find it was long enough. Then you've got this kind of issue of whether or not it's actually going to work for you at all, which can be much, much harder to judge. So this is kind of unique in the things that I've tested. I'm not going to say don't buy it. I am going to say that it's so difficult to gauge its overall effectiveness relative to everything else because sleep is such a personal thing. On its plus sides, I really do love the design. There's a lot of flexibility and obviously a lot of thought that's been put into the actual meditation patterns and the voices and things like that. So there's lots of flexibility within it. On the minus side, it's expensive. There's no Bluetooth. These switches are only plastic and it might not work for you. And that's probably the biggest problem it's got overall. Anyway, that's my take on the Morphe relaxation and sleep aid device. Got any questions? Want to see me falling asleep on camera? Leave me your comments below and I will